What's going on, guys? It's your favorite fitness coach, Joel Staley here. And in today's video, we're answering the age-old question, should I work out while I'm fasting? Now, obviously, this answer is gonna depend. But before we get into that, when I talk about fasting, I'm not talking about 16/8 fasting or like a 20-hour intermittent fast schedule. I'm talking about 36 hours, 48 hours, even 72 hours plus. So more of a prolonged fasting regimen. So that kind of changes things up a little bit. So when we talk about should you work out while fasting, as I mentioned earlier, the answer is it really depends. If you want to get down to your ideal weight and look skinny fat or look like a saggy turd, well then the answer is no. However, if you're like me and the goal is to drop body fat, build muscle, and then once you get down to your fighting weight, you love the way you look, you love the way you feel, your shirts fit better, you have that confidence, well then the answer is a resounding yes. You're definitely gonna wanna work out while you're fasting. Now, why is this? There's a handful of reasons. Number one, it gets you into ketosis quicker. Now, what is ketosis? Ketosis means you've essentially burned through all your sugars, all your stored carbs, and now your body is running off of body fat. It's very muscle sparing, it's very appetite suppressing, there's a lot of benefits to it, but the quicker you can burn those calories and burn through those stored sugars and tap into your body fat, the better off you're gonna be. So I know Tim Ferriss, who's the author of the 4-Hour Work Week, 4-Hour Body, 4-Hour Chef, you know, all these hacks and books. He had once done a 7-day fast, and because people are goofy, he had to be on bed rest, he had all this medical supervision, and he ended up losing about 12 pounds, and 11 of those pounds came from muscle. The reason this happened is because he wasn't burning through his carbs, so he was never able to tap into that stored fat and get into a good rhythm. Now, he did repeat this experiment a few years later, and now he was going on brisk walks, he was working out and whatnot. He got into ketosis right away, which is the goal, and he still lost 12 pounds, but this time all 12 pounds came from body fat. So that tells you how important it is to be working out as you're doing these longer fasts. Aside from just the depleting through your carbs and getting into fat burning mode, another big benefit is day 2, day 3, somewhere in between there, depending on your unique situation. What happens is your human growth hormone, which is naturally produced, skyrockets up to about 2,000%. So you can imagine if your human growth hormone is jacked up 2,000%, of course it's going to be very easy to retain muscle, build muscle, and you don't need that tedious amount of protein a lot of fitness coaches. So the answer is yes. There's a couple reasons why you should right there. There are more, but to keep this video digestible, those are really the big ones. Second question is, how should you work out? Should you go on a brisk walk? Should you do some cardio? Should you lift weights? Do some circuit training? All very valid questions. And again, I'm going to assume that the goal and why you're watching this video is because you want to become a lean, ripped physical specimen. Then the answer is very simple. You want to lift weights in a progressive overload type program. That doesn't mean doing the circuits or the supersets you should not be sweating is what I'm saying. I would recommend typically, if you haven't been lifting weights for a while, start with a 3-day-a-week plan. Do this for 30 days. You're gonna wanna do full body. That way you're hitting every muscle group 3 times and giving yourself enough time to recover. And then after you've adapted to that, move to a 4-day-a-week split, which is gonna be more of an upper-lower body, hitting everything twice with more volume. Once you wanna escalate from that, hit 5 times a week. I would keep the upper-lower and then throw in 1 full body training program. And then finally, I'd max out at 6 times a week, which would be more of a push-pull legs, bodybuilding, lifting program. But the answer is lift weights. Cardio, if you're doing it for fat loss, is not going to make a dent in your fat loss compared to the damage that fasting is doing when it comes to stored body fat. I calculated it before, and you would have to run a marathon to be able to burn the same amount of calories as you do in just a 24-hour fast. Running around the block a few times is not going to equate to all the calories that you're burning once you're fasting. Not to mention that, I've noticed for myself specifically and a lot of clients that I've worked with, when you lift weights, your hunger doesn't really spike whatsoever. However, when you really ramp up the cardio, your body has a tendency to fight you a little bit and make you hungrier, which of course in turn makes the fasting that much more difficult and unenjoyable, which is not the goal. So to answer the questions, minimal 3-day a week if you've been out of it, pretty easy, don't overcomplicate it. Now when? I know Thomas DeLauer has a video, oh, don't work out in the middle of your fast, you're gonna spike your cortisol. There's benefits to working out at the beginning of your fast. Again, gets you into ketosis quicker, depletes through the sugars, gets you into fat burning mode, all beautiful. So work out at the beginning. There's benefits to working out towards the end of your fast. Human growth hormone, remember 2 or 3 days in. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter because no matter when you're lifting, as you're fasting, there's benefits happening. So whether that's when you start your fast, when you end your fast, in the middle of your fast, both, you're good. Now, if you are lifting in the middle of your fast and you're super concerned about what Thomas DeLauer has to say, just offset it with getting a good night's sleep, maybe some meditation, some breath work, anything that brings that cortisol down. But honestly, in the scheme of things, if you work out in the middle of your fast, makes no difference whatsoever, at least from what I've seen, which is a lot. Now, common mistakes when it comes to working out while fasting. The biggest mistake that I've seen is guys who aren't used to fasting and they're kind of new to the concept. Well, they'll go 100% in the gym, whereas I've found it typically takes about a week and a half, so let's call it 10 days, for your body to realize, oh, there's a bunch of body fat here. I can use this for fuel. I don't need carbs as much, and finally be able to ramp it back up to your full performance. So in the meantime, for those first 10 days, if you're rolling longer fasts or you're fasting like a madman, you'll definitely want to make sure that you're taking it around 80%. All that means is, if you feel like you can do 10 reps of something, cut it off around 8 reps. That's it. Now, you're not really gonna do any damage if you take it 100%. You're just gonna feel a little bit more lethargic. Your body's gonna be kind of confused because it's used to burning carbs instead of body fat. But once your body realizes, oh dude, I can use this giant pile of fat on this guy's gut to fuel this workout, which happens about 10 days in historically, your workouts are amazing and you actually go to about 110%. Because you're leaner, you have more energy, and you're crushing. Action! Now, I have put together a 21-day workout plan. It's a part of my book and my course bundle, and right now it's only $7. I'll leave that in the link, but it has the fasting schedules, the mindset stuff, 21-day workout plan, how to structure your workout, so on and so forth. No pressure, but if you want to get access to it, I'll leave a link in the description. Otherwise, to answer the question, yes, 100%. If you want to like the way you look and feel once you get down to your fighting weight, you should be working out. Follow a 3 to 6 day a week lifting regimen focused on progressive overload, meaning gradually doing more and more each week. Doesn't really matter when. If you do it in the middle and you're super concerned about it, throw in some sort of cortisol lowering exercises like breath work, meditation, getting good sleep, etc. For the first 10 days, you'll definitely want to take it about 80% of your normal intensity. You can ramp it up about a week and a half in, and then there's a 21-day plan for you in the description. That's pretty much all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like this video. If you want more content on fasting and getting lean and ripped this year, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support. Leave any questions you have in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.